Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Unique in God Ministries. We are so happy to have you. I hope that you enjoyed the first story, Debra. Actually, that was the last one in the series. And I hope that you enjoyed Debra, the eldest sister. We're going to read the first story in the series. And if any of you know, Daniel, I am sure that most of you know the story of Daniel in the lion's den and how God rescued Daniel, how Daniel stood firm on his belief and he trusted God and he stayed with God. So we're going to have a Bajan version of a female Daniel in the lion's den. And we're going to see how Deborah dealt with this situation and how God moved for her. Obviously, the story is going to be broken up into four pieces. So some of you I know told me the last time, like, that is the end of the story. And they're going back, that is the end of the story, not realizing that this had to come again. And listen the next day for the rest of Deborah, the eldest sister. This is the same way. Deborah in the lion's den. So let's start with the story. Debra, Mom called. Where are you? Deborah was different from the time she was born. Not only in stature, as she was shorter than anyone else in the family, but also in nature, because while the other children were outside playing, Deborah's face was in a book. Any book. All books. Her brothers called her a nerd. Nerdy Deborah, or E.T., was her name. Deborah knew all of this, but she didn't pay any attention to them. Her older brothers, Greg and Titi. Titi was 6 years older than Deborah. He was tall, more like a basketball player, tall and slim. And he found much pleasure in teasing Deborah. He would hold her at the top of her head. And when she tried to hit him back, her hands would just be flinging in the air as Titi held her head far away from him. And she would just be trying to hit him all the time. But she was too short. And her hands were too short. She could never reach him. Greg was not as tall as Titi. He was more on the robust side, a thinker, and Titi's buddy in crime. He found much pleasure in those times and laughing at those situations when Deborah could not hit Titi. And he added his 2 cents worth by saying, E.T. needs to call to the stars for help. So we're going to stop our story there today. I know you're getting all excited about what's going to happen, learn about Deborah and her two naughty brothers. We're going to stop here and you listen again tomorrow for Debra in the lion's den.